is, or else I'll never have proof that I was here, right? And I will get a paycheck. So let me open up and I'll share my screen with everyone. And if you haven't yet, I think most people in this room already have installed Screencast-O-Matic on their computer. Is anyone here that hasn't installed Screencast-O-Matic on their computer? If you can just let me know in the chat and say, let me know so that I can reach out to you later after this session and work with you one-on-one and help you install. I know, Alexandra, you and I got it installed on your computer.
Yeah, no, thank you. I just don't have it in my dock.
Oh, okay. I can always help you create a shortcut with that.
Thank you.
Sure, not a problem. And that's to everyone, right? So if anyone needs one-on-one support, I am here to help. I will be here during the summer, although I am taking 2 weeks off in July, in the middle of July for my son's birthday.
Oh, how nice. Do you have your dates?
Oh, yes, let me give you those dates. I will be away, let me tell you right now, and my memory is not working that well because I feel like I'm high on a Theraflu. I will be away starting July 12th and returning back the 26th, that Monday of July 26th. So I'm taking those 2 weeks off just to, re-energize and get those batteries charged for more workshops.
Fabulous. You deserve it, Jose.
Thank you, Alexandra.
Really do.
Before we start today, I just really want to talk about the importance of video. And although like Alexandra mentioned early, it might sound overwhelming a bit. The things that were mentioned that oh, we're going to learn this, we're going to learn that. It might be a little bit overwhelming at first, but just remember that I will be here. We also have Jeffrey, who's an amazing also support, Margaret, Bishop. So there's many other people also that are here to support you all. If things get too tough, always you can schedule one-on-one sessions with me and Jeffrey and that kind of thing. But what I really want to say is that as we all saw during this pandemic, how important video is. From my opinion, although I'm not teaching a class, like you guys are in the trenches. You are my superheroes because what you guys did this past, from March going on forward, there's no other words to describe what you guys are doing, and you are in the trenches. You're not only doing teaching, but you're doing counseling and everything above, all the above. You guys are checking off those boxes. So I consider you all superheroes, and my, I can't explain how much gratitude I have for you all because what you've done for these students. But to talk about video, I honestly will say to you, the importance of video will increase as education moves forward. And so although it might be a little bit challenging at first, I highly recommend to continue that path towards video because I only see video becoming much more of an asset for you as a teacher. Being able to teach and know how to produce videos will only make you much more better teacher. Not only if you're teaching online, online definitely you're going to have to learn. If you are going to teach online, you're definitely going to have to learn some videos because there's no way around it. But if you're just teaching face to face, there's many ways that videos will increase the value of your course if you do incorporate that into your class. So I just want to say that before I start because I really believe that you're just going to see more and more video as the years go by. You're going to see more teachers using video. You're also going to start seeing videos that actually have interaction within the videos. You're going to see students interacting with videos, and questions will pop up as the students are watching your video. There's ways to add interactions. Like learning pathways, that's another terminology that keep in mind as we move forward. Learning pathways where students will watch a video there'll be a question prompt for the student, and then they have to answer the question, and based on the student's response, they'll go a different path through that video. So it's like branching. So this is where education technology is moving, and if you want to stay ahead of the game, with this kind of thing, I recommend video will be #1 right now. And if I recommend spending the time learning and reading more about video and education. I sometimes refer back to my marketing people because, as you know, video is a big deal for marketers, and usually the research, I always fall back to research for the marketing people always have the best research. So I don't rely sometimes too much on education, journals and papers. Sometimes I fall back to marketers because they know a lot about video and studying of the analytics and statistics of how video affects marketing and advertisement. All right, I'm going to go on to now sharing my screen, and then we'll talk about Screencast-O-Matic in more detail in a slower pace that we all can enjoy and ask questions as I go through the steps or the workflow that I recommend for you all. All right. And I've integrated Screencast-O-Matic in your Blackboard course already. So if you have a Blackboard course, you have access to Screencast-O-Matic. So right now, I'm logged into my Blackboard. As you can see, this looks very familiar. This is the landing page on Blackboard. And on the right-hand side, you have all your courses. And for now, I'm just going to go into my sandbox. So this could be any course in your Blackboard, right? So I'm going to go into my sandbox. And if I go into the content area of my course, you'll see I have some things here. But if I want to create a video on the spot, it could be something that, I'm looking through the course and I say, oh, this will be a perfect video announcement, right? And I want to do that real quick. Or, if I want to do, go over the syllabus with, for my students, or whatever it is that you find that would make a great video for your class. As you're going through your course in Blackboard, you can simply click on build content up here in the top left-hand corner. And as you hover over, you see how you have to hover over with the cursor, you'll get a drop-down menu. And you'll see Screencast-O-Matic right there at the bottom. This is one way to access Screencast-O-Matic. I'll show you the other way in a second. And so anything that has an orange asterisk in Blackboard is a required field. So we can't get around it. You have to enter something in here. So I'm going to call this class introduction. Okay. In the description area, you can always put something in here. I like, I come from the online world. I mean, I don't know where you all, some of you might be face-to-face professors, some of you are online. For online classes, I always recommend to write a description of what it is that you're doing and what we're doing here, because you don't want to blindly lead them to something without not letting them know what they're clicking on. So I always take advantage of this, and I'm just going to write a little sentence here about this video will cover a quick course introduction, something like that. That you kind of let them know that intro. I can't spell intro. Brain. They will cover a quick course introduction. But just a little blurb, a little something that kind of explains to them what it is that they're going to click, right? So that they're not just blindly clicking. And that's pretty much it from here, right? So then we go ahead and click the submit button at the bottom right. Now with Blackboard, anytime you create a new item, it goes all the way down to the bottom, right? All the way down. And there it is, right? I want to move this up a little bit just to make this easier for us to see. Right away, you notice the Screencast-O-Matic logo. It's like the Target logo, just in blue. Right, and so there is my little blurb that I have under the title. Now, there's nothing in here, it's just an empty link. So I have to click on the link to add that video or create the video. So right now, if I leave it alone, there's nothing in there. And so the students, if I leave this alone, the students go into my course, they will find nothing in there. So we got to add something in there. So that's our next step. So now that I've clicked on the link, I have two choices. I can choose from a pre-made video or create a new video. I'm sorry, I think 1 second, my throat is. Sorry about that. I got to clear my throat a little bit. So we're here now. So once I clicked on that link, I have two choices, right? So I can select from a pre-made video that I've already created, or I can record a new video by clicking on the launch recorder. So that's your two options. So if you already have Screencast-O-Matic installed on your computer, if I click here and you don't want to use a pre-made video, you can just click here, Launch Recorder. And that will open Screencast-O-Matic on the computer. And you can see at the bottom, it says Launched. Okay, and so you see now I have Screencast-O-Matic open on my computer. Right, and so this is the interface. Now, there's three options for you to choose from. If you're looking to do a talking head video, and you know, Alexandra, you were asking earlier, what is a talking head video? A talking head video is basically what you're seeing here in the bottom right corner. It's from the top of your head to your shoulders.
Okay.
And so you see that in YouTubers or interviews.
Thank you. And what do you click on to get the talking head?
Yeah, great question. So you can do a webcam video.
Okay.
And now you see me and just my talking head, right? So just from my top of my head to my shoulders, and that's a talking head video. So this would be a great option for you if you're doing lecture presentations and you're just talking to your students. If you're doing a PowerPoint demonstration, like Excel, or something that you're teaching your students from your screen, then you can choose screen capture. And what screen capture does is it records whatever's on your screen. So you have to be careful if you're going to go with screen capture to make sure that your screen is, you don't have any student grades or anything that you don't want your students to see. Screen capture will record anything that's on your screen, so be careful, be mindful of what's on your screen. The third option is both. And so what both will do is that it will record whatever's on your screen. So for example, if I wanted to record what's on my content page, you'll see that, now I have the screen, it's recording whatever's on the content page, but also I have the picture-in-picture or the talking head video of me on the bottom right corner. So you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting the screen capture as well as the talking head video on the bottom right. Now, what's pretty cool about using both is that you can actually switch. And this is called live switching. And the controls are here at the bottom right. These three little boxes. If I want to open up the video with a talking head of me introducing the video to the students, I can go and click on that. And now I can open up the video, say, hello class, welcome to my intro video to HA 112. My name is Jose Diaz. I've been teaching at FIT now for the past 12 years. And today I'm going to give you a tour of the course. And then you'll switch right here at the bottom. You'll switch now. Now you'll switch to the picture-in-picture, right? You saw how I did that. You can switch talking head, switch back to the picture-in-picture. Everybody got that? Any questions about switching and on the fly?
I'm so sorry, Jose. I need you to just show again how you switched it.
Sure, definitely.
Thank you.
The first thing that I did was that you select both.
Okay.
Is the third option from the left. So you have to make sure that you have both selected. And remember, both is basically that you have the screen capture on and also the talking head video of your webcam. And remember, what the webcam is the camera that's on your computer that's recording you. And so there's two things happening at the same time. You're recording the screen on your computer screen. You're recording whatever's on your screen, but you're also recording the camera. The camera is also recording you. So you're recording the screen, and you're also recording what the camera is seeing. In this case, it's seeing me. So you're doing two things at once. This is why it says both. And when you're ready to do switching, and this is a term in the video world, live switching, right? You're switching in real time. And so the switch buttons are right here at the bottom. You see here the little box on the bottom right with my talking head video. Right at the bottom, there's three little boxes. And when you click on these little boxes, it will allow you to switch the camera. And this is a great feature for you, because then you can go from the screen, you can go back. Like right now I'm recording the screen, and then I can click on this box here, and now I'm switching to my camera, my webcam, and that's my talking head video. If I want to go back to the screen, I click on the second button there, the little second box.
Okay.
And now this gives me both. Okay?
Yes,
Very,
thank you.
Very important. I mean, that would be perfect, because I know that almost 80 or 90% of faculty are going to be working off their slides, right? So if you have your PowerPoint slides, and this is from my friend at FIT who teaches Japanese, but I'm going to go ahead and use it as an example for today. So if I open up my slides, and I do play from the start, right? And so here, I'm teaching Japanese, but you can also see me here, right? And so if I'm teaching the sound system in Japanese, edamame, and I don't want them to focus on the slide for a second. I can say edamame, and so they can see my lips as I'm speaking it, and that helps students understand how my mouth is moving. Just like how little kids, babies learn from looking at their parents, they're looking at the lips actually to learn. And so if you want, so this feature of live switching will allow you to emphasize on certain key points or key takeaways on your lectures. If I'm teaching and I'm going, slide by slide, and I automatically go back here and I say, don't forget, this is going to be on the midterm, and I just switch to my face looking at them, I'm already emphasizing that this question is very important, and I want them to focus on that question, and pay close attention to that. So this is how you can use live switching on a slide presentation or lecture. All right, so let me just bounce back. Let me bounce back over here. Any questions? Any questions about live switching? Because I think this is the feature that most people, most faculty are going to be using, and we saw it in our exhibition last time. Some faculties were using it to demonstrate the lectures and switching from the slides, and then going back and looking at the students, and then going back to the slides. And what that does is that, remember we talked about post-production, right? Post-production happens after the fact, after you've done all the recording. So to minimize time in post-production, cutting and doing all this switching in post, you're actually saving your time because you're doing these cuts are being done on the fly as you're switching, right? And so you're saving yourself a lot of time in post-production because all these cuts are happening as you're switching the camera from a talking head to a screen capture. Any questions on that? Because that's a lot to pack in together. I hope everybody understands what I just meant by that. Okay, no questions? And remember, any question is a good question. There are no bad questions. This is, again, I'm taking it very basic here so that we all can understand. I think I hear a message.
It's approval.
Oh, approval. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Mari. All right, so we covered that. All right, so now I accidentally closed Screencast-O-Matic as I was doing that. So let me open up, let me go back into our class introduction. And so this is like a recap. So I'm going to go back into class introduction. And you see, this is how it looks because there's no video in here yet. So I can either select the video from my pre-made videos, my library of pre-made videos, or I can go ahead and create a new video by clicking on the launch recorder. So I'm going to click on launch recorder. Oh, it's already open. Okay, and I'm going to click record up here. So it's the red button at the top, right? So I want to record a new video. As you can see, these are all previous recordings that are saved on my computer. And I don't want to deal with these. I want to make a new video. So I'm going to click record. Oh, it says already open. Okay, so I already have it open. It's down here at the bottom. I missed that. Another cool thing about Screencast-O-Matic is that it's very minimal, as you can see. It's this little tiny little rectangle here. If you want to move it around, if you feel that it's obstructing your view, you can always click on the handle to the left, and you can just drag it anywhere on your screen. I like to have it here in the bottom left because it's a nice spot for me. It's not blocking my view. And if I want to open up, expand Screencast-O-Matic, I can click on the gear icon right here. And now it expands. If I want to minimize, I just click on the X. I know it's not that intuitive. It should have been a minus, but they have an X. So if you do click on the X, it's not going to close Screencast-O-Matic. It'll just minimize. See that still there? I would have preferred a minus sign. It would have made more sense to me as a user. But unfortunately, they have a little X. And this doesn't mean that you're closing Screencast-O-Matic. It's just you're minimizing it. Because it's still here, as you can see. All right, so if I click on the gear icon, now we all have the Pro account, so maximum time is unlimited. But if you want to time yourself, if you want to give yourself a limit, you can do so by saying, well, I don't want my video to be longer than 10 minutes. Then you can just change it here and say, well, I don't want my video to be longer than 10 minutes. And that's a way to challenge yourself if you want to keep yourself within a 10-minute mark. But if you don't want that, you can put no max, right? And then you can record until until the cows come home. Size, right now I have it set to full screen, and what that means is that I'm recording everything on my screen. But if you only want to record a certain section of your screen, you can click on 720p, and then you're going to have these zebra stripes. And what you can do with the zebra stripes is that you can make that box smaller. And whatever is in the zebra stripes, whatever is in that box is going to be recorded. Let me just move this back over here. See, I can move it around. If I only want to record this part of my screen, I can just move it to that part of the screen, and only that part will record. I don't see many people using that, but it's there for you if you do want to use it. Most likely, everyone will be using full screen. The next most important part is narration. And if you don't have these green decibels moving from left to right, that means that your audio is not being captured. So make sure that before you hit the record button, that these little green bars are actually moving left to right. If you have a dedicated microphone like the Yeti or the Snowball microphone or any of those fancy microphones, then you can just switch to that microphone by clicking on this little arrow, and then Screencast-O-Matic will let you know all the microphones that are available for you to pick from. Right now, I'm using the microphone that's already on my computer, that comes with my computer, so I only have that microphone. I don't have a dedicated microphone. By that I mean I went to the store and I bought a dedicated microphone, and then I connect that microphone to the computer. Then you would go here and find it from the list and select it, and then that microphone will be the one that you'll be using instead of the microphone that's already in my computer. That's what that means. Any questions about the microphone? No questions? Okay. Now the last option here is computer audio. What computer audio does is that it will capture any audio that's coming from the computer. So if you were to play a movie on your computer screen and you wanted to copy that movie, and you also wanted to get the sound that's coming from the movie, you'll have to turn this on here and say, yes, record the audio that's coming out of the computer. Okay? And then if that's what you're doing, then I would turn off the microphone, because you don't want to pick up audio from the microphone. You're only looking to pick up audio that's coming out of the computer, because then it'll pick you up talking or something, and you don't want to be heard as you're recording that video. And so I would turn this off and turn this on, and only record the audio coming from the computer. Okay, so that's pretty much the interface of Screencast-O-Matic. And that's one of the beautiful things about Screencast-O-Matic is that it's very simple. It's not overwhelming. I mean, it's a little tiny little thing here. I mean, I can drag it around. It's like a little pocket knife. You know, you can just drag. You can bring it with you anywhere. It doesn't eat up the whole space. It's very tiny, simplified, very easy to use. Oh, I didn't cover the draw tool. Let me cover the draw tool because I know, Alexandra, you used it for your class, for your video. So let me cover the draw tool real quick. I'm going to open up that PowerPoint slide again. And so if I want to draw on the slide, I can click on the draw tool. And I can actually, draw as I'm speaking. And this is using Screencast-O-Matic, right? As I'm, changing the slides. If you don't want to use the Screencast-O-Matic drawing tool, notice that PowerPoint also has a drawing tool. So you have the option of using either the Screencast-O-Matic drawing tool or the PowerPoint drawing tool. Let me see, I might break something if I pick it. Let's see what happens. I might be break. No, you see, I still have the Screencast-O-Matic drawing tool on. So, but just keep in mind, you can either use either or. You can use the drawing tool in Screencast-O-Matic or the drawing tool in PowerPoint. PowerPoint also has a laser pointer. If you want to draw the attention to a point in your video, you can also do that. Let me trash this. And the laser tool can be found here. If you click on the pencil on PowerPoint, you can see that there is a highlighter, there's a laser pointer, there's a pen, there's an arrow. I'm not sure what the hidden feature does. If anybody knows, I'm afraid to press it because I might just ruin my whole presentation. But if I do laser pointer, for example, you see how the red circle? It's like a laser pointer. So you can use that. If you want to change and come back, then you can switch it to, let's say, the pen tool. And now I'm back to the pen tool. If I want to switch it to an arrow, goes back to the arrow. So just keep aware that you have these features available to you in PowerPoint. All right, so now I'm going to record my video. Let's switch to a new slide. All right, let's say I'm doing now the vowels in Japanese, a, I, U, E, O. And so I'm going to click on the record button. I have my slide ready, and I have my Japanese vowels are ready, and I have some words that are only vowels in Japanese. So I'm going to go ahead and click the record button by clicking on this red circle right here. And then I'm going to get a timer, a countdown. Okay, class, today we're going to review the vowels. A, I, U, E, O. And the first word is ai. Oops. Second word is ue. Third, e. Fourth is ie. And fifth, aoi. And then, I can also draw, as I am explaining to my students, ui, ie, ui. And, I can, once I'm done, I can just click on the pause button. And so now that my recording is there, oh, you know what? I want to record some more where I left off. And then I'm going to switch to, I'm going to switch on the fly to my talking head so that the students can focus on my lips as I am pronouncing some of these words. Okay, so I'm going to pick up exactly where I left off at the 39 seconds and 78, right? So that's my time. That's the time that I've recorded so far, 39 and 78. And I want to record a little more, and I'm just going to switch the camera back to my talking head so that the students can focus on my lips as I am pronouncing these words. Let me see if I can remember them. I, U, E. All right. And so now or I can take a breather, or I can get a cup of water, or if I have to use the bathroom, and I can come back to the recording and start from where I left off. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the record button. And there's my timer countdown. And I'm going to see how my talking head was being blocked by my dock. But hey, it's okay. Never panic. You can always delete some of these things. So don't worry if you have to move things around as you're working with video, because it's so flexible. You can always fix things at the end. So now, okay, class, so we're doing the vowels. I want you to focus on my lips as I'm pronouncing these words. I, E. Remember, the vowels are A, I, E, O, U. And then I'll switch back to my slides. Oops. Let me pause it there. So there, what I did was I went to the switch buttons at the bottom, and then I clicked on the switch as I was going through the slides. And then when I wanted them to focus on the words, then I switched it back over here. And so this is something that you can use as you're lecturing to emphasize certain key takeaways from your lecture. Any questions on that so far? On switching on the fly? No? Okay. So now, remember I was almost 39 seconds. Now I have 1 minute and 32 seconds. Notice there's a little red line as to when I jumped back in. Remember, I paused the recording and then I came back in. That's where that little red line is right there. So now I have a video of 1 minute and 32 seconds. If I'm happy with this video, actually, if I want to preview the video, I can just click on the play button. Okay, class, today we're going to review the vowels. A, I, U, E, O. And the first word is I. Oops. Second word is ue. Third, e. Fourth is I. If I want to fast forward, you can just click on the timeline to the point that you want to fast forward to. If I want to fast forward right after the pause that I took and I started recording again, I can move to right where the red line is right here, and I can click play. And I'm going to see how my talking head was being blocked by my dock. But hey, it's okay. Never panic. You can always delete some of these things. So don't worry if you have to move things around as you're working with video, because it's so flexible. You can always fix things at the end. So now, okay, class, so we're doing the vowels. I want you to focus on my lips as I'm pronouncing some of these words. I, E. Remember, the vowels are A, I, E, O, U. And then I'll switch back to my slides. Oops. So I had some problems there, but this is okay, because now once we're done with here, the next step is now, once the video is created and you played it back and you're happy with the video, you have several options here. You can trash it and start over again, or if you like the video, you click done. So I'm going to go ahead and click done, and then you have 3 choices to choose from. You can save the video and upload it to YouTube or Screencast-O-Matic or Google Drive or any of those options. Or if you just want to do a quick share with your students, if you just want to, if this video was some feedback or critical feedback or critique for your students, you can just grab the link and send it to them. It doesn't have to be polished, right? So it could be a quick share and just send that link to your students, and they, can access the video from that link. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and edit the video because I want to show you some of the basic features when you're editing a video. So I'm going to go ahead and choose Edit Video from here. Any questions so far? Okay.
I think you should keep going, but at some point, I don't understand how you go put something on YouTube. I think that may be another subject. So
Okay. Yeah.
no idea how that's done. So, but I
Sure.
think perhaps for everyone, just keep going.
Sure, Alexandra. Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
I haven't got to that point yet, but I will cover a little bit. And again, if you do need, I can, extra time with that, I can also help you
Thank you.
connect it to your YouTube channel. Okay, so now this is a new screen that we haven't yet seen. This is where you do all the video editing or corrections, and this is where you're going to put these band-aids on your mistakes, right? And so there's a lot of things we can do here. I'm going to start with the right-hand side just to show you what some of these things mean. This is the resolution or the size of your screen, or it says canvas. If you're looking to change the size of the screen, which most likely no one will do this, but I just want to cover it, you can always click on it and you can change the size of the screen directly from right here, which is so easy. If you want to go with a 1280 by 720, you simply click on it and the video will resize itself. Right. That's if you're looking to do that. It's very unlikely that you'll have to do this, but this is what this is doing. I just want to make sure everyone knows. By the way, Screencast-O-Matic automatically saves everything you're doing for you. You don't have to remind yourself to click save every time. At the top corner here, it'll tell you auto saved 1 minute ago. So Screencast-O-Matic is doing all the heavy lifting for you. It's doing all the saving for you. So you don't have to remind yourself, oh, I just did a new change. Let me go click save. You don't have to do that because it's being saved automatically for you. If for whatever reason you're not happy with the narration of your voice, you can simply uncheck the box here and your voice will disappear. And there you see at the bottom how all the little mountains and hills disappeared. Now I just have a video without my voice. So if I click play, you see my lips moving, but you don't hear anything. This could be useful if you are recording and it just happens that your brother brought in his baby daughter and his baby is crying during the middle of your recording, and all that audio is not useful anymore, but you still have the video. Then you can just remove the narration by unchecking the box over here and then click on tools and start a new narration from the video that you have, so that everything is not lost. Everybody got that? Everybody understood what I just did? No? So let me repeat that. So let's say that the video that I just did here, if I played it back, you see these mountains and hills over here at the bottom, these little spikes. This is my audio. This is as I speak, they go up, the little spikes go up and down as I'm speaking. When I'm not speaking, you can see it's just a flat line, right? And so if I was recording and there was a lot of noise in the background, let's say my daughter was making a lot of noise as I was recording, and I don't want to start from scratch over again, I can just delete the audio by unchecking the box on narration over here. And then once I click on that box, once I uncheck this box, all these mountains and spikes will disappear. See that? They all disappear. And if I want to record a new narration over my video, then I can click Tools, click Narrate. Let me just do one. and then I can select exactly where I want to narrate over. Right? If I want to do the whole video, record this whole video, and then I click start. So now I'm going to record over the previous narration using the same video. Right? So if I click start, now it's going to start recording. See, it's recording. Oh, sorry, I had to press the record button. You see my voice is being picked up. Hello, class. Today we're going to cover the vowels A, I, U, E, O. First word, ai. Oops, I made a mistake. Come back. Second word, ue. Third word, e. Fourth word, ie. So you see what I just did was I got a second opportunity at it. Now that the room is quieter, I don't have a baby crying, I can come back, scrap the first recording, and then narrate over the video that I have previously recorded. All right, everybody got that?
Jose, may I ask, are you re-recording just your voice or your video and voice?
Great question, Alexandra. Yes, I'm only recording my voice. I'm keeping the video.
So will your lips be moving differently from your new narrative?
That's a great point, right? That's an excellent observation, Alexandra, right?
Yeah.
So if that's the case, right, then I can just turn off my webcam right here, and they can no longer see me, right? I would lose that part because, right, but this is the other but. If I go back and do this again, if I remove the narration, right, and I go back to the beginning, and if I do tools, and if I do narrate, and if I select the whole video that I want to record over, it turns purple, right? And if I click start, notice that I can turn on the webcam to replace the previous webcam. So now they can actually see my lips. That's a great question, Alexandra. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, because I would think that it would be very hard verbatim to say, to speak to the old video exactly the same way and use the exact same words and be in sync.
Exactly. In that case, I would turn on my webcam and say yes. And now I'm recording a new talking head, but this video is still the same.
Right. All right. Thank you.
That's a great observation. Thank you, Alexandra, for sharing that. That's a great one. Again, you might not need to use this tool, right? So let me just move forward. Let's continue. It's very unlikely you'll use this. If I wanted to add video music to my video, I can just click on the music button here. Screencast-O-Matic offers you a large library of music, free to use. But you can also import your own music. If you have an MP3 song and you want to use your own music, you can do that too. Let's say, for example, if I want to use, let's find something like ambient. You can preview it before. You can preview it before you select it. A little bit too sci-fi for me. Let me see this one, elegance. My kids will fall asleep if I use that one. So you're gonna have to really go in there and look. Let me see. Let's see. Let's try this for now, just so you can see how it would plays along. A little bit too fast, and it probably won't match. But I just added music over my presentation, and so if I click play. Okay, class. Today we're gonna review the vowels: A, I, U, E, O. And the first word is ai. Oops. Second word is ue. So as you can see, Screencast-O-Matic does all the heavy lifting for you. It automatically adjusts the audio level, the volume to the music, and it kind of puts it below your voice so that the music doesn't overpower your voice. But you can always change the volume yourself if you wish to by clicking on Adjust Audio Options right here. And you can then change the volume yourself by going up or down, and that will increase or decrease the volume. Screencast-O-Matic does a pretty good job of this. I haven't had to go in there and change this because it's really, really good at it, adjusting the volume for you as you're speaking. And most likely you probably are not going to add music unless it's like a tutorial or that kind of thing. I don't see music being added to like a lecture. Okay, the next button here is the cursor. If you're not happy with the yellow cursor, you don't like it, I myself like it, but if you, for whatever reason, do not like the yellow cursor, you can always remove it by unchecking the box here, and the cursor goes away. Right? If you want to switch it to something else, I'm sorry, if you want to switch the color to, let's say, red, you can just click on. So what I did there was I went to the right of the cursor button over here, this little button there. Everyone sees that right there, a little circle with an arrow. If you click on that, it gives you more options. You can change the color to a different color, and you can even customize the color if you we have FIT faculty love to specific colors. I've learned how important color is. So, and I always had the option of turning on or off the webcam. If for whatever reason my son or daughter were in the background making faces and I didn't realize it, and I said, "Oh no, what were they doing behind my back?" And I didn't realize, I can always turn it off, or I can even play around with the talking head. If I want to manually increase the size, I can just grab the corner and do the switching myself. Remember we talked about the live switching? If I forgot to switch to my talking head video, and I forgot to switch it from the screen and talking head to just the talking head, and if I forgot to do that, I can always do it right here and just put myself as a talking head. See that? Very easy. So you can still always do the editing in post. And this is what we're doing now, post-production. You can also move your talking head to anywhere on the screen. Right? I can go here. And if I would have pointed to the left, let's say if I would have put up my hand and said, over here, aoi, aoi, and saying this one, I could point there and get creative. Or I can move my talking head over here to wherever part of the screen that I want to put myself in. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. I click OK. Now let me show you some basic editing. I think there was a mistake that I did where I accidentally changed the slide, and that's going to happen to all of us. And one time or multiple times during a presentation, that happens. It's normal. It happens, right? So you see how I'm scrubbing. There's another term for you, for a video term. When you grab the little bar on the timeline, so this is a timeline, this is a playhead, I forget what we call this, but this little bar, if you grab the bar and you click and drag, this is called scrubbing. Like if you're scrubbing the bathtub and you're scrubbing the bathtub, you're scrubbing it. That's what scrubbing is. So I'm moving it to the point where I made the mistake. And it's around here, I think. Where is it? Where is my mistake? Oh, there it is. There it is. I changed the slide by mistake. See, I was doing the vowels, and then I accidentally click on the next slide, and then that's where my mistake happened. And I even say it. If you want to hear it, you can play it too. I can hear, say, oops, I made a mistake. You'll hear it right now. Watch. Ahí. Oops. Second word is ue. See, but I kind of quickly recovered, so I know exactly where my mistake is. So I'm going to go to the beginning of the mistake, which is right there. And then I kind of know exactly where I recover because there is my voice, little mountain spike here. That's where I will stop the cut or the splice. There's another word, another term is splicing or cutting. This is when you're going to remove a little piece of a mistake, and that's called splicing, right? So I'm going to click on Tools. I'm going to click on Cut. And it already knows, Screencast-O-Matic is pretty smart. It already highlighted for me exactly the mistake. I didn't have to even do anything. Now if I want to preview, I can click on the play button, and you'll see now that that mistake is gone. Ahí, second word is ue. That was pretty good. And that was Screencast-O-Matic selecting it for me. So I'm gonna, any questions on that? No, no questions? Okay, so if I'm happy and if I want to commit.
No, could you, I'm sorry, could you do that one more time? I'm sorry, it took me a little while to get up here.
Sure, sure. Let me click cancel and I'll do that. So what I did was I need to find out exactly where the mistake happens, right? And so remember we talked about scrubbing. So if I want to find where I accidentally changed the slide, and you see how the slide changed, you're like, oh, that's exactly where it happened. That's one way to find your mistakes. Another way to find the mistakes is just by clicking on the play button, because then you get to hear yourself and also see at the same time. So I'm going to click play. Ahí. Oops. Second word. And I kind of helped myself because I said oops. So that kind of is another cue for me. Or like when you're slating, you know, if you slate and you say, oh, you know, cut, that helped me find my mistake. So I know my mistake is right over here, right there. And it's going to go right to where this little spike, where I begin to speak again. This is where I then move on to the second word in Japanese, which is ue. Right? So I'm going to cut from here to here. Right? So then I can either choose cut from here because I already have it selected, or I can just click on Tools and go to Tools and click on Cut. Right? This is splicing. We're going to cut this piece out. Screencast-O-Matic already found the mistake for me. It already knows. And so you see that's why the red is selected. But I'm going to do another cut where Screencast-O-Matic hasn't yet selected the area for me. So now I want to preview the cut before I commit to the cut. So I want to preview how this will sound with this piece missing. Right? I want to hear how it sounds before I commit to that edit. So I'm going to click play. Ahí, second word is. That was pretty good cut, right? It's kind of seamless. You don't even notice kind of that I made a mistake. So I'm happy with that. So I'm going to click OK to commit. Now, always remember, you can always undo anything by clicking on the undo button at the top right. This is your lifesaver, you know. And if you want to go 10 steps back or 5 steps back, you can open up the version history of the changes by clicking on the down arrow up here in the right corner. And look at this. It has all my edits. I can always go back to when I did the first cut, or when I added the music, or when I created the actual video project. I can go far as back as the beginning. If I want to undo anything from the beginning, I can always fall back. That's your lifesaver. Okay, so I want to do one more cut. Also, I want to let you know that Screencast-O-Matic also lets you know when there's dead air. See all this, there's no mountains here, there's no hills. All this is dead air. So if I want to see what was happening during that dead air, I can just scrub to that point in the video. Let's see what was happening. I don't know what, maybe I was quieter. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah. Oi. And, you know, I can, once I'm done, I can just, and I'm I'm going to see how my talking head was being blocked by my dot. But hey, it's okay. Never panic. You can always delete some of these things. So don't worry if you have to move things around as you're working with video, because it's so flexible. You can always fix things at the end. So now, okay, class. So we're doing the vowels. I want. That's my recovery point, right here. I can hear it because I know that's where I started again. In the vowels, I want you to. Actually, so now, okay, class. So we're doing the vowels. So okay, class. So we're doing the vowel. So it's when I say okay. So it's right here. So everything from here all the way back to my mistake can be deleted because that's where I screwed up, right? So I'm going to delete all this because I kind of lost myself, right? So that's when I got stuck because my little switcher was being blocked by my dock. So okay, that's fine. That's not a big deal. So I think it's from where it says okay. Okay, class. So okay, class. So I'm going to start from here. I'm going to click cut. Remember the term scrubbing? I'm going to scrub again. I'm going to click on the red line, and I'm going to bring it back all the way to where before I made the mistake, which is right there. Click OK. Oh, let me undo that. Let me do that again because I wanted to show you, I wanted to preview it before I did it. So let me just preview it. I want you to focus on my now. Okay, class. So now, okay, class. Okay, there's my okay, class. That's when I start again. I click cut. Notice I did the undo and I started all over again. So that's another way. If you make a mistake, always click undo and redo it. So I'm going to bring this back all the way before I screwed up. I think it's right there. Yep, that's where I. So to preview this, I click on the playhead, the little triangle. This is the play button, the triangle. So I click on play. Done. I can just. Okay, class. So we're doing the vowel. Look at that. That was beautiful, right? I could be a little cleaner, but that was pretty good. That exactly all of this. That's where I was struggling, and I couldn't find the switch button because it was hidden under the dock. So I'm happy with that. Actually, I can drag it a little more to the left. I think that would be cleaner right there. Now, to commit to this cut, I have to click OK. And now to play it back, I click on the playhead, which is a triangle button here at the top in the left corner, the bottom left corner. I click play. So I'm done. I can, okay, class, so we're doing the vowels. I want you to focus on my lips as I'm pronouncing. So that's pretty much splicing and cutting. I did 2 cuts. There are many other features in Screencast-O-Matic. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff here to play with. There's even advanced features like keying, green screen, adding titles. Let me do a quick title real quick. And then we'll move on to captions. So let me do a quick title. Let's say if I do a title, it would be overlay, and I will do text. And then I want to type in the title.
To school. Yeah. Can I call you in a bit? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no problem. Bye.
So I'm going to type in here Japanese vowels. And then I need a background so that I can kind of stand out. So I'm going to click background. I can always change the font. I know this is also, you know, if you're looking for a specific font, size, and color, bold, all this stuff can be done here. So you can always play around with, if you're interested in that, you can play around with the fonts and such. Background, I want to create a background. I want a rounded background. And I want it to be, oops, I didn't click on it, rounded. Okay. And let's see, or should I make it, yeah, that looks good, I think. Oh, I want a different color. Use background. No, that's fine. And so what I can do with the background is I can stretch it, make it bigger. You know, you can place it anywhere and wherever you want it to be. I'm looking for, I'm trying to change the style. Here it is, sorry. So I wanted to make a background for the titles, and I want to choose a color, maybe black or blue. And so I can just, you know, take up the whole screen if you want, or, you know, I can put this title anywhere on the screen. So that's how you can create titles. And you can put this anywhere on your video. Now notice, now that I added a title on my timeline, there's a new yellow layer here, right? And that's where my title is going to play from. So if I click play now, you'll see that my title plays from the beginning up to the point over here where it fades away. So if I click play, okay class, today we're going to review the vowels. A, E. That was pretty good actually, because it starts right from where, you know, it picks up, the title fades away as I start going into the vowels. A, E. But if that wasn't perfect the way it turned out, I can always extend or decrease the duration of my title by clicking on the yellow part of the title and then click on the T, the yellow T box. And now you get the two blue lollipops, right? So now I can extend or decrease the duration of my title. Everybody got that? Okay. So these blue lollipops, if I click and I scrub.
No, could you do that again? Could you do that again? Sorry.
Sure, sure. You mean to change the duration of the title?
Yes.
Oh, okay, perfect. Let me click cancel. So if I'm playing the video and I want the title to go, I want to extend the title all the way to, let's say, 8 seconds over here. What I can do then is I can click on the title layer, which is here, the yellow. Then this little T, this little box with the letter T appears. And so I click on it because that's T stands for text, right? And then you get the blue lollipops, these little blue lollipops. What the blue lollipops allow you to do is extend the duration of the title. So I can click on the lollipop and drag it either left to right. Let's say if I want the title to play up to the 8-second mark right there, I can preview it by clicking on the preview button. Okay, class, today we're going to review the vowels. A, E, U, E, O, and, right? If I wanted to shorten the titles, I can click on the blue lollipop to the right, or I can, if I want to move it from the left, I can also grab that lollipop and move it this way. See that? I can move either or lollipops. I can move the front one or the back one. And I can move it to the point in the video where I want the title to show. So I want to put it back where it was, which is here. And the first word is, and I think I start using the vowels right over here, and where I say ah. Let me check. Okay, class, today we're going to review the vowels. Perfect. You saw how I faded out as I started going into the vowels. That's what I wanted. I want it to be right there. If you're happy with that, you click OK. Now you'll see that you have a new layer in your timeline, and it's that yellow layer for text. And you can always add text layers anywhere in the video if you want to add more. You can, let's say if I want to add another text layer here, click text, and then I can just start typing. Homework assignment. See, I can put this anywhere in the video, right? And so I can put a background by clicking on background, choose a color. If I want to make it blue, see? If I want it to be the shape of rounded or boxed, And I click done. Okay, and now I can, you know, change the size. So I can say, hey class, close attention, this is going to be in your homework, or this is going to be in the quiz, or this is going to be in the midterm, with a little pop-up box like this. I don't know if you all remember VH1 pop-ups. I used to love that show because you're watching a music video, and these little pop-ups will appear, you know, and there were cues for the viewer to pay close attention, because whatever was being covered at that moment was an important part in the video. And so you can use these pop-ups to emphasize key takeaways in your video lecture. And remember, the blue lollipops allow you to position them anywhere in your video by dragging. Remember scrubbing? We're scrubbing the bathtub. You can put them anywhere in your video by scrubbing either the front lollipop or the back lollipop, like this. Right? So if I click OK, I'm committing to this edit. I am accepting this edit by clicking OK. So now I have two layers, one here, two text layers, one over here and one over here. I'm not going to go into the advanced features. There's a lot of advanced things here. We talked about narrating. If I said the wrong thing in my lecture, I can go to that point in the video, change what I said. Let's do that real quick. Let's say, okay. Yeah. Let's say I pronounced that wrong. I say yeah, and that's wrong. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so let's say, oh man, I said the wrong thing. I wanna change my voice. I shouldn't have that. I said the wrong thing to my class. Tools, narrate. I only want to change this part where I said yeah, and then I click start, and then it's gonna start the recorder, and I want to do a new webcam, because remember Alexandra said that if I don't do a new webcam, the voice will not match, the video will not match my voice. So I'm going to do a new webcam recording so that my new voice that I'm recording over the mistake will match the new voice. So I'm going to turn on webcam, yes, and I'm going to hit record. Yeah. Okay, and so there, I click done. So you see my new recording, and let's play it back. So the purple is my new voice, my new narration. Yeah. There you go. So I took, it's like the metaphor, the analogy is I took white out, and I corrected my audio mistake. And this is in video. You just did this in video. And it could be a video that you have done for your class, and you taught something and it's no longer relevant or it's no longer true. Let's say you're teaching social media, which is constantly changing. The subject matter is constantly changing. And you don't want to redo a whole video because now that information is not correct anymore. Go to the part in the video that you want to change, record over it. There you go. You fix it. Instead of having to record the whole video over again from scratch, you can just put some whiteout on that part of the video and re-record that part alone, and you have yourself a brand new video. All right, I'm going a little bit over, so let me just speed up a little here. Is everybody okay so far?
Beyond fabulous, Jose.
Awesome. Thank you, Alexandra. Yeah,
Really, thank you.
Yeah, I'm really gonna take it nice and slow. Now we're getting to the second half. This is the last part, and this is what Alexandra was talking about earlier, when Alexandra was saying about YouTube. So now I have my video. I created this video. I spent a good amount of time. I'm so proud of it. I'm excited. I can't wait to release this video to my students. How do I show this video to my students now that it's completed? So before we move on to that next step, we have to add captions to the videos. And Screencast-O-Matic will caption the video for you. You don't have to do, well, it'll do the heavy lifting. I'm not saying that's going to be 100% accurate. artificial intelligence is still moving at a fast pace. So who knows? Maybe by by the end of the year, it'll probably get there at 100%. But it's pretty accurate. I would say Screencast-O-Matic is better than YouTube's auto captions. I would say Screencast-O-Matic is about 90 to 95% accurate. But again, based on the noise, background noise, based on if there's more than one person speaking, or if you have an accent or a heavy accent, or if you're speaking pretty fast, the artificial intelligence might not be able to keep up with you. And so those are some of the variables that play in the captionings. So big advice from me to you is do not do the captions if you're not yet happy with the video. What I mean by that is only do the captions once you're done editing the video. And the reason why I'm saying that to you is because if you go ahead and do the captions while you're still editing, and if I go ahead and I do the captions and then I say, well, I made a mistake here and I want to, I want to delete this part. What happens is that part that you deleted has been captioned already. So you're going to have to scrap those captions and then go make the edit and then do another captions again. It's not a big deal, but again, I'm always looking out for faculty. I'm always trying to save you time and making sure that you don't, have to spend a ton of time doing these things. So try your best to save the captions part for the end. Don't do it at the beginning, because if I start deleting things, those captions are no longer going to be valid because those parts have been deleted, and then you're going to have these captions playing where there's a part that no longer exists. So leave the captions for the end. I was working with several faculty who actually accidentally did the captions before, and the problem was that they already spent a good amount of time fixing the captions. So, they didn't want to go back and fix the captions again. So it was a little bit of an extra work. So I'm trying to save you time. All right, so now to do the captions, I'm going to click on the captions button. And remember, this is the last thing we do before we upload, before we click done. So I'm going to go ahead and click caption. And by the way, actually, it's a good thing. Caption is the last thing you see here because it should be the last thing that you do before you click done. So here I go. I'm going to click on the captions. And obviously, we're going to go with English. Make sure that when you get to this screen, you click speech to text, right? Because we're going to have Screencast-O-Matic do the captions for you. So I first select English, then I select the middle button here, speech to text, then we go with start. So as you see, Screencast-O-Matic is already captioning all this for me, right? It says, you can see it working, right? It's doing a pretty good job. I mean, look at that. It's doing the capitalizations, it's doing punctuations, it's doing period. I mean, it's doing everything. But again, it's making some mistakes, because I'm trying to speak in Japanese here. I'm doing my best. And so here it says, and the first word is ie. So there is a kind of space there. But if I want to fix this, I can easily just left click with my cursor, exactly where the mistake is, and I click backspace or delete on the keyboard, and that's fixed already. That was a really quick fix. Here it says Forbes. I don't know where they got Forbes from. So if I want to play back and kind of I think it says fourth, third, and the fourth. But if I want to listen to my voice, I can click on the little, remember the triangle is the play button. That's the playhead. Right, so I click on the play button. Forbes. Right, so it's fourth. It said Forbes. I have a little bit of an accent here, and I mumble, and my voice I'm high on Theraflu, so my voice is, I don't know, sounding a little different. Oh, fourth, I spelled it wrong. Fourth. So Very simple. You can spend some time on the captions. I know the school now is putting an emphasis on captions and accessibility. So I must say to you that doing the captions here on Screencast-O-Matic is 100 times easier than if you were to do it on YouTube. Very easy to do it here because you're just clicking and typing from right here. I can just type, and type whatever I want or delete. Very easy to use. Once the captions are done and I'm happy with my corrections, then I'll go ahead and click OK right here. And so now the video looks good to me and I want to go ahead and click done. So I'm going to go and click on the done button there. Now this is where Alexandra was talking about. These are the possible solutions, possible hostings. What do you want to do next with the video? Right? You can either save the video directly to your computer as an MP4 file. That's M like Mary, P like Peter, and the number 4, MP4. And an MP4 file is very common. It works on a Mac, PC, it works everywhere. So that's what you would get if you were to choose Save as Video File. If you want to upload the video to Screencast-O-Matic, and this is what I recommend, only because if you choose this route, the video will automatically be in your course because Screencast-O-Matic is already integrated into Blackboard. So if you choose this option, the video will be hosted in Screencast-O-Matic and it will be already accessible to you from your Blackboard course. If you want to go with the YouTube route, which is okay, if you're going with the YouTube route, you have to enter your username and password to your YouTube channel, and then it will create a handshake. And what I mean by a handshake is that Screencast-O-Matic and YouTube will handshake, and so that Screencast-O-Matic will upload the video directly into your YouTube channel. And by the way, we all have YouTube channels. You might not know it, but if you already have a Gmail account, you have a YouTube channel. If you have an FIT email address, you have a YouTube channel already. And so that, yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, I thought you were pausing. But I also wanted to say that at this point, you can also use YouTube as captioning.
Correct. If you go this route, then you're gonna then leave the Screencast-O-Matic captions behind, and then you're gonna fall on to the YouTube captions. So if you're gonna go this route with YouTube, don't bother fixing the captions or even clicking on the captions button in Screencast-O-Matic. That's a great question, Martin. Everybody understood that?
Jose, I do have a question.
Sure, Christine.
Why can't you upload to YouTube Screencast-O-Matic with captions? Why do you have to do it on YouTube? I don't understand.
Yes, great question, right? So yeah. The reason why, if you decide to go with YouTube, is the captions that are, if you do the captions in Screencast-O-Matic and then you click upload to YouTube,
right?
Those captions that you did in Screencast-O-Matic don't get pushed or they don't get transferred over to YouTube. Only the video gets transferred over to YouTube. Okay. Because YouTube has their own captioning auto generator. That doesn't mean, you're welcome. That doesn't mean that you can, if you feel like you want to work in Screencast-O-Matic and do the captions there, you can still do that, but it's a lengthy process where then you're going to have to download the caption files that you created in Screencast-O-Matic, download that to your computer, go to YouTube, upload the captions into YouTube. It's just a lengthy process. I didn't want to go there because it sounds so complicated, and I don't want to make this complicated. So just keep in mind that if your destination is YouTube, don't bother doing the captions in Screencast-O-Matic. Upload, upload the video to YouTube, and then you do the captions on the YouTube side. Okay. Now, if you click on the hamburger icon here at the top right-hand corner, the three little bars, three little lines, there are other features. You can also upload to Vimeo, which is the competitor to YouTube. You can also upload to Google Drive. I only recommend uploading to Google Drive only if you're archiving videos. I wouldn't host videos in Google Drive only because it's a lot of work. You're going to have to manually copy and insert the captions yourself. Captions will not automatically transfer into Google Drive. It's a little bit of a headache. And since the school is taking a stronger stance, and by that I mean FIT, we are taking a stronger stance with captions. Hosting your videos in Google Drive will add more steps in your workflow if you are going to add those captions. My advice to you is to either stick with Screencast-O-Matic or YouTube or Vimeo, because those will take captions. And they also auto-generate captions. Google Drive will not auto-generate your captions. You're going to have to do that all manually yourself if you go with Google Drive. Okay? Any questions about where the video is going to host? You have a lot of choices here. You also have even Dropbox. So there's a lot of choices. Most commonly, 99% of you all are probably going to choose either Screencast-O-Matic or YouTube to host your videos. Remember, you don't upload the video directly to Blackboard. That's considered a standalone video. It's a big no-no. You're not supposed to do that. Although Blackboard allows you to do that, you're not supposed to be doing that, because once you upload directly to Blackboard, there are no captions in your video. Once the video is playing on Blackboard, there will be no captions. So it's a big no-no. You're not supposed to do that. Again, the school's taking a stronger stance with being ADA compliant. The school website is also fully ADA compliant, and so now videos are the next focus. We're trying to make all videos ADA compliant for students that might have a disability. All right, so just real quick before I select one of these, I just want to show you the captions are here. If I click play. Okay, class, today we're going to review the vowels. A, I, U, E, O. And the first word is I, second word is ue, third, e. So as you can see, it's not perfect, but like it skipped some of these, a, I, U, E, O. I can always go back in and add the parts that it didn't pick up. So, you can, if you are going to be fixing captions, the captions will take you some time to get them 100% accurate. But as long as you have captions in your video and they're pretty good, you don't have to bend backwards. All right, so next step is I have to select one of these. I'm going to go with Screencast-O-Matic just to show you my workflow. So I'm going to choose Screencast-O-Matic to host my video. So I click on that. And so now I get this little window. This is a very similar window if you were to choose YouTube. So it's asking me what is the title of the video. So I'm going to call this introduction video. I can also give a description. I can also put it in a channel if I want to. If I want to group my videos together in a Screencast-O-Matic channel. If I want the cursor, I can take it off. If I change my mind again, I can turn off the cursor and say no cursor or just the cursor. I actually like the cursor. I'll leave it there. I can change the quality of my video. I want high quality or low or normal. Of course, the higher the quality, the bigger the file. And yes, I want to keep my captions in privacy or visibility. If you click public, it will be made available to anyone. within FIT. Remember, these videos are being hosted in our own private server. This is what's different between Screencast-O-Matic and YouTube. We're paying for this service, so they're hosting these videos for us. If you want to make the video password protected, or that only you have the password, then you can choose that one. Team user, I really haven't used that yet. But unlisted is the way to go. Unlisted will only be visible to your students and nobody else at FIT. But always remember, these videos belong to you. They are your property. And if you ever want to download them, if let's say you're leaving FIT and you want to keep these videos, you want to move on to a new place, you can always download these videos to your hard drive or your Google Drive, and you can download them from Screencast-O-Matic and move on to your next place, so you can take them with you. Okay, so the last thing I have to do is click publish. So I'm going to go ahead and click the publish button. So these videos are now, this video will now get published into my course. So I click publish. And so I get a little progress bar here. I don't have to wait for this. I can easily, continue in the background and do other work if I want to. If I want to take the link and send it to the students, if this was, for example, an announcement and I don't want to wait for this, I can just copy the link directly from here and just paste it into an email and send it off. So you don't really have to wait, but it's a short video, so it's not a big deal. In this case, it's pretty quick. Screencast-O-Matic does the processing pretty quick. So I'm going to click OK. Okay, so I'm done on the Screencast-O-Matic side. Now I have to go to the Blackboard side. So I'm done with Screencast-O-Matic. I can just minimize or close it if I want to. I'm done with my slides. I don't need I don't need PowerPoint anymore. Discard. I don't need my changes. I can close PowerPoint if I want to. Now I'm back into Blackboard. Remember, this is where we were in the beginning. Remember, I could have chosen a pre-made video that from my library, or create a new video, and that's what I did. So my video is not showing here, right? Because I haven't refreshed my screen. So if I click refresh, you're going to see that my video will appear right before this one. The new videos always appear on the left side, right here. So if I hit refresh, and the refresh button is that little circle arrow on your Chrome browser. I don't know if you're using Safari or Firefox, but you'll see it. It's a little arrow circle, and you can just refresh your screen by clicking on that refresh button. And there's our new video, Japanese vowels, right? And so now that this video is in my library of videos, I can select it now. So I want the students to watch this video. So I'm going to click on this video, and it's going to embed this video into my course. You see here it says preview the embed. Now, here are some options for you to choose. If you want to make the box, the video big, or you can choose the size. If you want a big screen, you can do full, large, medium. I find that small works best, so I'm sticking to small. You can hide the title if you don't want them to see the title. See, the title goes away, but I want them to see the title. And I want to show the controls, because the controls will allow the students to rewind 10 seconds or fast forward 10 seconds. So I want them to see the controls, right? And obviously I want the caption button to be on, because this will allow students to turn on or turn off the captions as they wish. I don't like autoplay on, so I'm going to turn off autoplay, because autoplay could be annoying, right? If you open up the video and it's automatically playing from the beginning, that could be annoying for somebody. So I don't like to have autoplay on. So I'm going to turn that off. It's like, you know, turning on the TV. Oh, sorry, sitting on the couch and the TV automatically turns on. You know, I mean, I don't know. It might be a good thing or a bad thing, but for a student, they might want to have full control as to when the video starts to play. Right. So I took that off. Last step is to click on the embed video. And that's right here. Once I click this, it will now be embedded in my course. I'm going to click embed video. And that's it. The video is now in my course. Now, the great thing about Screencast-O-Matic is that if I accidentally put the wrong video here, I can always click change content. And I can replace the video with 0 downtime for the students, right? So if you ever want to update a video with a new video, just go into the video, click change content, and you can always swap the video with a new video. All right, so now let's look at this from the student's perspective. So I'm going to go ahead and click content. I'm going to go back into my course. Remember, we call this class introduction. And so I'm going to go on the evil eye at the top right-hand corner over here just to simulate a student. I'm going to go enter student preview. And I recommend using student preview because the student, looking at it from the student perspective, might change the way you design your course based on how a student will take your course or a student will experience your course. All right, so here's our video, class introduction. Oh, this is interesting. The professor made a video for me. This video will cover a quick course introduction. So I want to get familiar with my professor, and I also want to get familiar with the course. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the video. Okay. And there's the video. And then the student will click play. And notice the controls, right? Here are the controls. I can go. I mean, you know, you have to understand for students, this is gold for them. I mean, to be able to rewind, fast forward, you know, go back 10 seconds, go forward 10 seconds, to be able to pause the video, to be able to have captions, to be able to fast forward, you know, your video, you know, this is to them is, I can't explain to you how much. You're already a hero, but if you use this type of videos, you'll be a superhero for them, because for them this is what helps them learn, especially for an online course. So let me go ahead and click play. Okay, class. Today we're going to review the vowels: a, I, U, E, O. And the first word is ai. Second word is ue. Third, e. Fourth is, I can pause, and if I kind of didn't understand what the professor was saying, I can just go back. Third, e. Word is ue. Third, e. If I want to take away the captions, if I don't, if the captions are distracting to me and I don't want to see the captions, I can go here to the CC button at the bottom right and uncheck the captions, and the captions will disappear. So this is something that the students control. You don't have to do anything. The students can control if they want to see the captions or if they want them to not show. Okay. Fourth is ie. If I'm a slow speaker and the students want to speed up your video, I can go here and change it to 2-speed, or 2-speed is the fastest. So if I click 2-speed, and fifth, aoi. And then, you know, I can also draw as I am explaining to my students. Ui, ie, oi. So the student can actually fast forward your voice, and you'll sound like a chipmunk. But again, these students are looking for key takeaways. That's why videos, it's important to do chunking. As you chunk your videos, the key takeaways are what's important. This is what the students are looking for. They're looking for your key takeaways. So it's very likely that you'll see students fast forward your videos to those key takeaways. And that's what this allows them to do. Or if they want to go back and they want to recap, you can do the 10 seconds prior, as I am explaining to my students. Ooh. right? If I want to bring it back to normal speed, I put it at 1 speed. Yeah. Oi. And I can, once I'm done, I can, okay, class, so we're doing the vowels. And so that's how the students will experience your videos using Screencast-O-Matic. And that was basically my workflow today. And so I'm just going to stop there. If there's any questions.
Jose, I have a quick question.
Sure.
Just Lupi. If you were to save this as a video file with the captions, will it then appear on Google Drive with the captions on it?
No. So Google Drive it's something on my wish list where I wish that they will in the future allow captions to be transferred over along with the video.
Mm.
If you decide to put your video in Google Drive, I know I think I know where you're going, because I know Google Drive, the benefit of using Google Drive is, number one, there are no ads. Like if you were to go to YouTube instead of Google Drive, you're gonna avoid students seeing ads and pop-ups and all that crazy stuff. The problem with Google Drive is that you're gonna have to go into Screencast-O-Matic or YouTube, download what's called the SRT file, and that's what the captions are, is an SRT file. Once the video is transferred over to Google Drive, you're going to have to go into Google Drive, find the video, manually attach that SRT file to the video so that now the two are together again.
Mm. Okay.
Google Drive will not do it for you.
So when you're saving it as a video file, it's saved. The closed captioning is something that you could turn on and off at all times.
Exactly. The viewer controls when the captions are being shown or not.
Right.
Just like YouTube does the same, where YouTube, you play a video and you decide whether you want to see captions or not.
Right. But YouTube has its own closed caption. Right. Okay.
Correct.
Got it.
Correct.
Thank you.
And sure, that's a great question. Now, just to tag on that question, I mentioned earlier that the YouTube captions are you can actually do the captions in YouTube Studio. It's a little bit harder to do. There is a learning curve. If you go with the YouTube route, there is a little bit steeper learning curve because YouTube is not that intuitive. The interface is not intuitive. Just like Screencast-O-Matic was very straightforward, easy to do. If you need help with using YouTube Studio, please shoot me an email. I'll be happy to kind of walk you through it. But honestly, it's not as easy as it is in Screencast-O-Matic. It's even hard just to find the captions area in YouTube Studio. But I'll be happy to sit down with you and help you with that. I also do have a tutorial on how to do captions in YouTube. You can find that in our online learning, FIT online learning YouTube channel. You can find our videos there, and you can also subscribe to us. Our channel is getting larger as I continue to make more and more videos. So feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Any other questions about Screencast-O-Matic and the workflow that we covered today?
Okay.
Yes.
This is Martin. I'm thinking narration, and I'm thinking of the old videos that I created in Screencast-O-Matic, and I'm wondering how much post-production I can do with the videos that I have that are already recorded. Like, for example, if I wanted to re-narrate, if there's such a word, the script. Can I do that once I've already finalized it?
Yeah, that's a great question, because you're going to have to look carefully and say to yourself, how much do I need to fix, right? If it's a little minor, here and there, little bloopers that you said the wrong word 2 or 3 times, then yeah, you can still salvage that video and go back in and then click on the tools just like how I did, I clicked on the tools, I clicked on narrate, and I selected, just like whiteout. You select the area that you're going to record over and record over it. But if it's a big piece of the video and you feel that it's not salvageable, then I would say to you, instead of pulling your hair or trying to fix all this, it might be just better to just start the video from scratch. So that's a decision you're going to have to carefully analyze.
Right. Most of them will be that decision, but there are others where the tweak would be very simple. Like, for example, I may have actually done a verbal date stamp. I will say, this fall, and I can eliminate that and just say,
Yes.
spring or whatever the case is. Whatever.
That is
just cut it out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great example. Thank you, Martin, for mentioning that. That is something I forgot to mention. And Martin, again, thank you for mentioning that, because don't date your videos. That is gonna create a problem, because now as you're copying the course over from the old semester to the new semester, you're gonna have, just like Martin said, fall 2020. Welcome class to HA 112, fall 2020. I mean, if you're okay with going back and then, like I said, using the whiteout and re-record that little part where you said fall 2020, and you'll say, oh, summer 2021. Again, you can do that. It's very easy fix, but, it's not necessary to take up time of your schedule to go back, and it's up to you. It's your call. I'm not telling you not to do it or to do it, but these are things that I usually tell faculty not to date your material, because then the whole purpose is to reuse your content. And this is where you're going to get the most benefit of video production, is that these videos will go on for a long time. You can reuse them for many semesters. And that's really the benefit of video, is that the ease, or the reusability, that's the word, reusability of these videos. You can constantly go back to them, and use them over again. Not only that, but I mentioned this before in other workshops, where it also serves as a mirror to your teaching, right? It serves, if you're teaching face-to-face classes, it's like an adrenaline kick. You're in the classroom and it's a blur. At the end of the day, you're trying to figure out, what did I say? So many things that go by so fast. And you have these videos that are recorded. You can just rewatch yourself as a teacher and see, okay, maybe, hey, I didn't know I do this with my hands. It might be a little distracting, but it's something that you can also reflect upon as a teacher, to continue to craft your skills. All right. These are great questions, everyone, and I hope this was a better pace, much slower. We did go through the whole workflow, and we went into more little, details. This video has been recorded. I am going to put it in the. Oh, thank you, Mary. Yes. I need a vacation. Hey, I don't know how my voice came back. That was a miracle. I was getting scared for a second. I thought I wasn't going to be able to speak. What was I going to say? Yeah, so this video is recorded. I will post this video on the Spark page that we are all, that Spark page that I have for you all, where all the resources are there and the links are all going to be there. So it's a one-stop shop with all the resources. I'm going to try to update it today, and I will email everyone. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Mary and Joe. And Martin, thank you again. I will email you guys all a summary email with the links one more time, and then tomorrow I'm doing this workshop one more time. It's basically the same workshop. Feel free to come if you want. If you want to hang out with me, it's always a pleasure to have you along this ride. And after that, we'll continue on with the flipped classroom certificate. So if you're interested in continuing with the flipped classroom certificate, I do have the three other workshops. I think there's 3 left, which is the Padlet activities to do in the flipped classroom activities is the other workshop. And then the last one is the digital storytelling workshop, which I highly recommend. It's a really good assignment for your students, where students take control of the video. They actually have to create videos for you, and it could be documentary style videos, or it could be a presentation style video. And I already have that assignment all scaffolded for you with all the instructions and all the video tutorials that you will give to your students. So I would say that's a good one if you want to attend that one. It's going to be coming after I return back from my vacation. So I'll stop the recording here, and if anybody has any